Hello and welcome to Backpage Pass. This is our Gameweek 8 review, and as the Premier League table is beginning to take shape, I'll be discussing last week's games and looking ahead to next week's set of fixtures with Mark Corcoran. Mark, I've just said that the table is taking shape. What shape would you say the table is taking?
A rectangle shape in that they generally do on teletext.
Yeah,
It's more rectangle than it is square.
Yeah, but I have nothing.
It's taking a usual shape as the teams you'd expect to be up the top are in and around.
Yeah, but let's be conceptual here.
Okay.
What if it was oblong?
I don't know what that means.
What if you went to IKEA? There's not just one kind of table in IKEA. They're all different shapes.
There's L-shaped couches.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could kind of say that it's taking a bit of an L shape, and the teams at the bottom are kind of being cut away from the rest of the table.
Also, they're all kind of on the same amount of points.
Yeah.
And, if it was a graph,
yeah,
it's not that.
No,
it is a table.
It's a table. It's probably the shape of a table.
Is that where they got the name for a table?
Yeah, because they're the first league when they were putting who goes where, they listed it all out on a kitchen table in London.
And then played Studio?
No, that came some years later.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's none of which is true.
It was football's birthday yesterday. Football tournament under 55.
155.
Yep. The first association football team was founded, and that was
Sheffield FC. Yeah, heard that the other day.
They're still going.
And the third and lesser known club in Sheffield. What happened to them?
They'll catch them up. The rate the other two are going down.
Yeah.
Sheffield FC can't be far off. Anyway, let's talk about teams that are still relevant.
But all my questions now relate to Sheffield. I don't even know what colour or league they play in.
Neither do I, and that's why we're moving on.
Yeah, okay.
First game I want to talk about is Tottenham 2, Chelsea 4. Now, AVB's plans were kind of disrupted by the Bailey.
Wait.
And he is also missing Dembele, Parker, Kabul, Asuko. So that's 5 pretty much guaranteed starters.
Yeah.
Is that what undid them?
Just before, what did Gareth Bale call this boy or girl? I didn't hear at the end of that story.
Oh, I didn't hear either.
Yeah, it was just kind of.
Do you want to just speculate?
George.
I'm thinking.
Reese. Reese is a nice Welsh name.
Reptar.
Reptar. He sounds like a king.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the match. It's hard to know what on the Tottenham. They seem to. I thought they started okay, and when you fall behind to Chelsea, you don't expect to actually come back. But credit to them, they came back to 2-1. But they should have really kicked on. They actually go ahead and win that match, because I think they had some good chances to go 3-1 ahead. And then within the space of a few minutes, Mata hits them with 2 incredible goals. But I think there'll be an awful lot of regret for Spurs fans, particularly that it was a home game, to concede 4 goals in a match that they definitely should have got something out of. Injuries aside, based on that match itself, they definitely should have got something out of that game. One thing I noticed in the match actually as well, just when a lot of people talk about Germany, Spain, Barcelona, how these teams, the players that can keep the ball, take pride in keeping the ball. Tottenham, both teams gave the ball away so cheaply. Like, it was frustrating to watch, even as a neutral, because you were just crying out for somebody to actually get hold of the ball and take charge of the situation. And it didn't seem that on that particular day that neither team really had it. And it just kind of, Chelsea just seemed to outscore Tottenham in a very open game, I thought, anyway.
And they're the two teams who value possession more than most, I'd say. But
yeah.
I mean, not so much Chelsea, but definitely Tottenham. They tried playing a European fashion with ABB.
Yeah, I single out Sigurdsson, actually. He just seemed to give the ball, maybe just had a poor game, but he's
usually pretty good at it.
Yeah, he gave the ball away cheaply an awful lot, particularly when they needed to control, when they went 3-2 down.
I think him and Dempsey kind of struggled with their positioning, because neither seemed to know which was on the left and who was in the middle, and they were kind of rotating around, and neither really wanted to be on the left, neither has that burst of pace that's required.
Dempsey isn't a winger. I don't think he was bought there as a winger, so that was strange when I saw it on the team sheet. But that was, I think, panicking, or they'd never really thought through that Bale wasn't going to play, even though he said that they did, but they never really did, and they just kind of left Dempsey there. That would look to me anyway.
player who was missing for Chelsea was John Terry, and in his absence, kind of Louise and Cal did very well.
Unbelievable goal from Cal. Unbelievable.
Beautiful
like
finish.
Any striker would have been just like, yeah, take that. But he seems to have that in him. Right? He's a decent finish. You know, I can't remember the game, but I think he got one last season as well. Decent finish.
He does it. Yeah, he can. Oh,
and even Louise as well.
He had one earlier in the season as well when Hazard just played it to him in the middle of the pitch and he just took a touch and spanked it in.
Oh yeah. So that's even Ivanovic is capable of taking a goal. So they definitely do have scoring defenders at Chelsea. I don't think there's talk today that Valencia are going to go in for John Terry. I don't know much truth in that. The Mail, I think, had it, but I don't think Chelsea aren't going to renew his contract, and I think they're looking to cut ties there because he seems to be more trouble than he is worth. I don't necessarily think Louise is going to be the man to replace him. He seems to be not the sharpest tool in the shed end, but Cahill is a good can be the future there, I think.
Well, I think Louise when he plays on the left of the two, because Terry likes to play on the left, and because he's captain, he gets his way all the time. But Louise got to play on the left, and he looks to start play from the back, and he couldn't really do it. Tottenham were ready for that, and obviously had a plan because he was looking very frustrated at his lack of options when he was in control of the ball. But
they don't really seem to have a settled back centre halves, I'd say.
Well, they only have the three. If either one of those two gets injured, then they're really in trouble. Because then Ivanovic moves inside, but they don't have another right back.
Yeah, but say for example Terry's available for Sunday. Who does Di Matteo? Who's he going to pick?
I'd say he'd pick Terry.
No, but Terry and.
Oh, maybe.
So I think Louise was ahead of Cal.
Maybe Louise is ahead. Oh, I don't know.
See, because that doesn't breed confidence for anybody in the back four. So, but having said that, they are top of the table. So maybe I'll just shut my big mouth.
And going forward, I always seem to think Chelsea. You know how comfortable Chelsea are based on how close Mata and Torres are to each other. If they're far away from each other, they're struggling. But if they're together, you can tell things are clicking.
Yeah. And
it really worked this week. Mata's pass for one of the goals was great, and his finish for another goal was amazing. So it was questioned whether Hazard actually meant the pass for Mata's second goal. I thought he did give him the benefit of the doubt. It was unbelievable. But I read a piece actually, I'm not sure where I read it, but during the week that talking how good Elano and Robinho looked once upon a time at Manchester City. And then it came to the winter time over the Christmas period and out into the second half of that season, they seemed to fall away. The question was posed whether Hazard, Oscar, players like that would fall away. I don't know, but the point being that it's a long season. You can be looking good at one point of the season, and then it can go all pear shaped on you, as did on Ancelotti. I mean, his last season they started unbelievably well and just fell away. Couldn't stop losing. So you never know what's around the corner, but they seem to have cracked it attacking wise. I'm not sure if those four of Torres, Hazard, Mata and Oscar offer enough going back the other way, but they seem to know how to score goals anyway. The other 4-2 match of the weekend was Man United being Stoke 4-2. And Robin Van Persie spent a lot of time on the left wing, certainly in the first half. What do you think of that?
Well, if you remember when he came on, when we played at Goodison in the opening day of the season, we were losing 1-0 and on was coming Van Persie, and every United fan was like, yes, here we go, he's going to get the equaliser. And we stuck him on the wing. And I couldn't believe, what's the point of bringing on a striker? You're £20 million striker and putting him on the wing. But the problem is that I think they're just try everything, really. Because they've got four viable attacking options, really. Well, what's the best combination? And Ferguson doesn't know, truth be told. And he's going to stick him there. It's not his best position. He's not going to wind up there, but he's going to try everything until he finds the best thing, really.
It seems to be kind of a policy of managers in the Premier League at the moment to just get as many good strikers as they can, and just have their forwards just outplay the bad defenders, the other bad defenders in the league. And is this a worry, going forward, when it comes to Europe, are United going to be able to perform, or are they just going to?
Well, I'm not sure if it's just an English thing, really. Look at Real Madrid's league position; they're not defending all that well. Barcelona conceded 4 at the weekend, 5-4. Defense is just it seems to be kind of attack is the best form of defense, score more than the other team. But United, Ferguson is definitely worried about United's what's going on defensively there. Like 2 goals against Braga, 2 shocking goals to give away, particularly after 80 seconds on the first one. United won't keep coming back if they fall behind. Certainly won't come back, I don't believe, fall behind at Stamford Bridge. So I wouldn't say it's been neglected. It's just something's gone wrong and they need to rethink things from a defensive point of view.
Against Stoke, the centre halves were allowed to just walk past the midfield for United.
Yeah,
Pulis didn't seem to know how to manage that. Is that a thing that bigger clubs have over the other clubs as well? Is that
defenders have more
Stoke
leeway.
are so concerned about defending that defenders can even get forward and attack and really overload teams.
I'm not sure if it's an advantage. Johnny Evans, I don't think scares many teams when he gets into attacking areas. Granted, he scored, but his goal scoring record isn't that positive.
It's good lately.
Yeah, he's got 2 in I think 5 or 6 games, but I think he's got 3 or 4 goals in total. Point being, you'd rather Johnny Evans having the ball in the last third than Wayne Rooney, Van Persie, etc. So I don't think that would worry Pulis going into the game if he thought defenders are going to get into attacking positions. He has enough mind to think about Van Persie and Giggs or whoever else is playing.
And what did you think of Coitley's goal? Because that was a pretty shocking.
Well, he got a huge struggle. Listen, you can't just march through. I think he started around the halfway line. Kept going. Someone has to either take him out of it or just take the ball off him. He wasn't making it that hard to take the ball off him. He didn't seem to be in control of it until he finished it. I'm looking forward for particularly Smalling coming back because definitely more cover at right back and centre half as well. Because it's pretty much obvious now Rio Ferdinand not going to play Monday or Saturday, Saturday. So you need more than Wooten on the bench, playing Carrick ahead of your young centre half. He obviously doesn't have the confidence in him.
And of course, the other Manchester club, Man City, going away to West Brom and winning 2-1. They probably deserved the point. They took the lead and then a bit of better finish from Lukaku.
Yeah, it was criminal that they didn't get something out of that game. Even after Dzeko got the second goal, Lukaku had a very good chance to make it 2-2. It just doesn't seem like when it's not your day, it's not your day, I suppose. But when you have a man up for most of the game and you're leading, you really have to take something out of that game. And I'm sure the West Brom lads are kicking themselves. But every time I look at Man City, I think something seems to be off. They don't really seem to enjoy playing for Mancini. But then they come back and do what champions do, and they find a way to win games that they had no right to win. So they're I'm stuck in the middle as whether they can actually, are they going to crumble and fall to pieces, and Balotelli's going to throw a strop and Mancini's going to get sacked, or are they going to storm the second half of the season and win the league? They're pretty much they're a mystery, I think, at the moment, because they go and show incredible spirit to win the weekend, and then in Europe they just look lackluster and no real belief about them and no real sense they're actually going to go ahead and win that game. So it's kind of hard to gauge Manchester City at the moment, I feel.
I find it hard to get my head around the strikers, because I would say toss up between Aguero and Tevez is the best striker, then probably Balotelli, then Dzeko. But Dzeko's the most prolific with a goal every 56 minutes, I think, so far this season in the league. And then Aguero is next behind him with 125 minutes per goal.
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of...
Well, you're also looking for the right combination. I think that's fair. Dzeko scored 2 very powerful goals at the weekend. But he goes missing, I find, a lot in games that he's not really looking for the ball. He goes quiet. Whereas Aguero and Tevez are always busy working around trying to make things happen. He kind of is the kind of guy that seems to... Others will make it happen and he'll finish it off type of thing. Balotelli, I think, is definitely number 4 though.
Yeah.
He only seems to be a penalty taker, and that's about it.
Yeah, he's kind of... I don't know. I always had hope for Balotelli, but it's just, especially during the Euros, he seemed to be coming really good. And then just no.
Yeah,
Just
no, life is not good for Balotelli and Mancini. The two of them have fallen out, I think. And if anyone would buy him, I don't know who it would be. Maybe Angie or something like that. I'd say he'd be sold.
Yeah. Next match, Norwich beating Arsenal 1-0. I seem to remember saying Arsenal could struggle against Norwich. They're the kind of team they'd struggle against.
Yeah, and I poo-pooed you.
You did. You poo-pooed all over me.
Yeah.
And not in an erotic way.
Is it ever in an erotic way?
I'm sure there's people that enjoy that.
Oh, God, let's not go down that path. The Arsenal were poor. I watched that match. It was just dreadful. Even Norwich didn't even seem to play that well. It was just they did it enough to beat a fairly poor Arsenal team. Norwich could have scored more than one goal, and Arsenal offered nothing in an attacking sense. So that's what happens when you play like that. You're going to lose, no matter who you play in the Premier League.
Walcott and Oxlade-Chamberlain were both injured on England duty. Oxlade-Chamberlain only got 11 minutes of the match. Were they the spark that was missing?
Yeah, I heard it said last night that if you can keep Cazorla quiet, you've beaten Arsenal. And that's probably particularly true when you don't have pace of those two guys to offer a kind of plan B or an outlet ball. And maybe that's how it was the key to Norwich's victory. They definitely seem to miss out on those two guys, but they're going to have to get used to that, the way things are going with Walcott. It seems that they're not going to sign him. They could even be sold in January, so it's not looking good for Arsenal at the moment.
And there would be talk of, I think Sturridge, there was talk of if Walcott goes, they're going to try and sign Sturridge. Do you think that would be a good move? I think Chelsea would let him go.
Yeah, they would, particularly if they get Falcao. But didn't they just sign two strikers in the summer? Podolski and Giroud?
Yeah, Podolski's going to play on the left, and Walcott isn't really. I mean, if Sturridge did come, he would play on the right where Walcott plays anyway. I would imagine
Sturridge wants to play as a central striker though. He's always moaned and bitched and moaned about.
He'd get a few games anyway. They're playing Gervinho there at the moment.
I suppose it would be a good move for both because Sturridge, I presume, doesn't want to move out of London. Not very many London players do, and but I don't see him getting the central striking role.
And Grant Holt did surprisingly well against Mertesacker, as far as I'm concerned. I thought, like the previous seasons, Arsenal just got beat by a big man, and they brought in Mertesacker to kind of quash that threat, but it didn't seem to work.
He seems a very quiet big man, though. They want a big, aggressive big man, is what they want, and they didn't get that in Mertesacker. But Holt, I don't think has really started this season the same way he started last season, so I think he got a big round of applause when he was substituted late in that game, and it's just going to go to show that Norwich fans are glad to have him back, because they started very poorly this season, and they're going to need him firing on all cylinders to advance up the table. I still think it could be a hangover, the whole transfer listing thing during the summer, that he's not found his form again yet. But yeah, you were right. He kind of took Mertesacker to the cleaners.
And another prediction I had was that Swansea-Wigan would be the big match of the weekend.
Pretty goal in that match, bro.
It looked a bit uninspiring, and then bam, 3 goals in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then uninspiring again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was an amazing goal there. Who was it for Wigan that got that? It was
what's his name? Emerson Boyce?
Yeah, Boyce, yeah. Yeah, that was an incredible goal.
Back heel. I don't know how much he meant that. I think it was just, I'm going to get my leg on this.
Yeah, he just threw his foot at it, and then it kind of hit his foot, and then kind of went in. But I've never scored a goal like that, so.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, fair play.
Kone's goal was disallowed. What did you think of that on the offside? Did you see that?
I did see it, but it doesn't ring bells. I can kind of see him complaining about, but the actual why it was given offside.
They didn't get a good angle on TV, so nobody kind of. But he looked pretty much on.
He did go. I can see like the bit after the replay in my mind. I can see it like where he's going to turn around, like, "Hey, that was grand."
I can see the BBC thing, which is where they swoosh the camera somehow digitally to the level, and you're just like, how did that doesn't? That's just the same picture, you're kind of photoshopped a bit.
Yeah, well, you're too amazed by how they did that to even like focus on what's going on.
It's telling you nothing.
Yeah. But how do they do that? It can't be photoshopped to give it a different angle.
Well, no, they just kind of. They do a little camera trick to make it swoosh a bit, but it's the same picture that you're looking at. They just shifted the players a bit in relation to where the line is.
Did you ever see that Sky advert? 2009 it would have been. Advert for Sky Sports. Remember that goal United got against Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final, where United counter-attacked and Ronaldo was bombing it up, and I think Rooney played it across, and Ronaldo kind of finished.
I only remember the scorcher, the big 40-yard goal from that one.
No, that was.
It was the same game, was it?
I don't think we scored a scorcher in that game.
Ronaldo just smacked it from like 40
that was against Porto.
No, they did it. He did it against Arsenal, didn't he?
I don't think so. But
Okay,
anyway, the point I'm trying to make about this advert was, when I watched that advert, I'm thinking, how did they do that? Like, they can do anything if they can do that. They took the ball out of it. So it showed you like you were watching it live.
Oh, yeah.
And Rooney was dribbling, but he wasn't wasn't kicking anything. And then he plays it across to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo's bombing it. Like, he's running as fast as he can run. But what's he running to? There's no ball. And then he kicks nothing into the goal and celebrates kicking them. And you're like, how did they get rid of the ball? Where did they come up with the grass that was underneath the ball? How did they do that?
I don't know.
Technology for you.
I'll get looking into it.
It's incredible.
Next game.
So yeah,
Back
Swansea,
to football and bowling balls.
Swansea and Wigan, as expected, not much of a game to remember.
Oh yeah. Anyway, Liverpool versus Reading. Liverpool had 23 attempts compared to Reading's 8, but they only got 1 goal.
Raheem Sterling.
That's poor finishing there. 1 out of 23 shots going in.
Yeah, but poor finishing from a team with no strikers. So it's no real surprise there. As well for Reading, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Give up 23 shots is an awful lot. You got to defend better than that, and they probably were lucky to get away with 1. They
nearly nicked a goal though. What's his name? McCleary getting in down the wing and just couldn't finish.
Well, you probably get what you deserve over the course of a season, and they probably got what they deserved in that match. Not that it's easy to go to Anfield and get something, but well, a lot of teams have done it this season. But in general, you need to be, I think, a bit sharper defensively. Having said that, Sterling's goal, I think, was a neat finish.
What do you think of Sterling?
I don't know an awful lot about him except the rumours that you've been telling me off microphone. But
he has 3 kids.
Yeah, from different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just
get the impression he should be playing at Chelsea.
He wouldn't get his game at Chelsea.
No, but I mean personality-wise.
Yeah.
He seems like he'd fit in with Ashley and Lampard and Terry.
Well, Lampard, what's wrong?
Well, I mean, not so much Terry.
Yeah. But Lampard's all right.
Yeah, I suppose Lampard's all right.
Ashley
Cole's an arse.
Yeah, so
probably Sturridge is an arse as well.
Yeah, but you can see that. But the main point about Sterling is, why on earth are they talking about calling him into the England senior team at 17?
Lennon is still a better player than him as far as he kind of dwelt on balls as well. The finish was a very good finish, but there was other chances a more mature player would have scored from.
I just keep him in the 21s. Like, it's not an insult to him that he can't get into the senior team. He's 17. Like, is he really going to make a big impact? Like, you're only after getting over Oxlade-Chamberlain getting into the team, like being the next big thing, and now you're looking for Sterling to replace Oxlade-Chamberlain. Give me a break. Give Sterling a break. He has a lot to be doing in his.
I wonder who's going to replace Sterling. He's probably working on.
He's probably
working on an heir to the throne already.
Yeah. Oh God.
Raheem Sterling Jr.
Yeah.
Coming up quick.
So, like, his son could be playing professional. If he has a son, I don't know. Could be playing professional football when he's about what?
They could play in the same team easily.
Yeah. 17. I suppose they're only 1 now, so he'd be what? 30.
If he has a Ryan Giggs kind of a career.
Yeah.
Who was it? Oh.
If he's 33 or 34, his kid
Eidur Johnson played on a team with his dad in the national team for
Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if there are any others like that. Email in. Leave in the comments.
Yeah, leave in the Facebook or the YouTube backpage / backpage pass on.
Gary and Phil Neville's dad is Neville.
Neville.
Yeah. Famous dads. And another Oxlade-Chamberlain's dad. I don't think they play together, but he played for England.
He played for England, yeah.
And Ian Roy is not.
And Sean Roy Phillips played, although he's adopted. Does that count?
Yeah, no, they're dads, legally dads.
Okay.
And Bradley Roy Phillips is the failure in that family. Imagine adopting 2 lads that turn out to be professional footballers.
And you're a professional footballer.
What are the odds?
Well, I suppose whatever age you got them at.
Do you think he kind of went like, this guy, he looks like he would be a footballer?
I wonder.
He threw a ball at them, and
it's not
they
the
could
genes.
They could trap.
Maybe it proves that football isn't in your genes.
It's in your shorts.
No. It's enough about balls and shorts. West Ham 4, Southampton 1. And this is all about a striker who failed to secure a move to Newcastle. Madaboing Amiga. Hey! Did you see his goal? What a great finish.
No, outside left foot, wasn't he? Put it in the far side.
Arrowed it in.
Yeah. Remind me of a finish a guy called Marcus Gale got for Wimbledon. Do you remember Marcus Gale?
I remember Marcus Gale. I don't remember the finish.
This was 1996-97 season. Wimbledon went to Chelsea, and Stamford Bridge was being redeveloped at the time. There was no stand behind, I think, both goals, certainly one of the goals. He scored a goal like that. And the commentator at the time, I don't know what his name was, he described it as a nonchalant finish, which I would describe that goal as. And Wimbledon went on to win that match 4-2. But now they don't exist anymore. So I suppose none of that really matters. But just reminding me of that goal. But it was a great finish. I think he was just back from African Cup of Nations duty as well.
Well,
with Togo, wasn't it?
Yep.
Or was it not?
I don't know.
I thought the commentary said he was just back.
He's not. He's Malawi. No, Malayan. I don't think he's from Togo.
Mali, maybe.
I think it's Mali.
But anyway, my point was going to be, well, fair play to him. A lot of people talk about international breaks and how it affects players, but he seemed to do all right in that game.
Well, he came off the bench, so.
That's a great goal. How goal. Mark Noble as well. There's been a series of those goals where people
just
take
goes
free
in
kicks.
off nobody. Keepers want to start training, or are people trying it or seeing it and then getting the idea?
Yeah, they're definitely kind of, if I put it in that area, A, it's going to go in if no one touches it. B, someone can flick that on. So it probably increases your chances of scoring as opposed to an outswinging cross.
And Southampton were better than West Ham in the Championship. They always beat them, and they were ahead of them in the league. Where they 4-1?
Yeah, but doesn't that always happen though? That like the team that finishes or say gets up in the playoffs seems to just win the games in the Premier League. Like if West Ham and Southampton get relegated this season, I would fancy Southampton to beat West Ham in the Championship. Yeah, but like I can remember, like Blackpool had a decent record against the teams they got up with.
Didn't they get relegated?
No, but I'm just saying directly against the teams they came up with. I've seen that so often.
Swansea as well.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. It's all about momentum, really. But West Ham are naturally probably a bigger club.
I'm not saying Andy Carroll's the difference. I mean, I didn't want to bring that up.
And you shouldn't say it because he's not. And but
he didn't score any. He only had one assist.
Well, in fairness, though, he has made a big difference for West Ham. If you can put things down to being a presence, I'll definitely call Andy Carroll a big presence for West Ham because they seemed he was injured a few weeks ago. They weren't the same team at all. Yep. Alden Cole is not the same. It's not the substitute for Andy Carroll.
Fulham beat Aston Villa 1-0.
Yeah.
Sunday, QPR 1, Everton 1. If Fellaini was playing, that would have been a great result for QPR. As it stands, it wasn't.
They just can't get the win. Like, how long are they going to stick with Mark Hughes?
It's a 1-1 against Everton. You can always kind of go, oh, well, they were third a few weeks ago.
Yeah, no, but that's not the point. If you look at the table and you go, what, eight games? They have 3 points, I think.
Something like that.
It's not exactly survival form, is it? From a man who promised that they'd never be involved in the same thing again.
Well,
I think actually before that game, they played the interview with him and he's like, yeah, I stand by that. How can you possibly... You're already in it.
I got nothing.
Yeah, well, no, QPR quite possibly go down.
I can see it.
And then what do you do with your 13 or 12 new players?
Well, they move on. There are a bunch of players. They're all kind of... A lot of them kind of caused trouble at their old clubs to get away.
Yeah, Joey Barton will come back.
Oh well, he belongs in the Championship.
You hear what you guys said actually about Gordon Taylor?
What?
You call him a fat, festering king of the PFA.
I mean, I don't like Taylor too much. it's a bit much.
Here's the man who, like, did you not go to the PFA plenty of times throughout your crappy career, Joey Barton? Like, what are you moaning about the PFA for? They should have kicked your ass out of that union.
Ooh, what would happen if he got kicked out?
He'd just have no representation if QPR could fine him 6 weeks' wages, and he'd have no grounds to stand on. At the moment, the club can't fine a player any more than 2 weeks' wages. So, stuff like that.
Anyway, Sunderland won, Newcastle won. It was all 1-1 on Sunday.
Yeah. But the Newcastle started that game so well, and it seemed Sunderland were just look really blunt and they didn't know how to go about it.
And Teota got sent off.
Yeah, I personally didn't think it was a red card. And I was watching.
Late, but of course he was late. Jack Goldback was reefing out of him, and I mean it was Fletcher who put all the pace into that challenge. He was the one who ran.
I might give him a yellow card because he caught him high. Fair enough, right? But like all the commentators, like straight red. No choice.
That's disgusting and all this.
But I was watching with my dad, and he's like, nah, not even a foul. Even though the free had been given before.
The other way, and then Newcastle got the free kick after.
Yeah, and you hear Matt Letizia like, why did Newcastle get the free kick? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
he doesn't seem to like Newcastle at all.
But like, he just seemed like a fool, to be honest. Like, it's blatantly obvious. Nobody's complaining about it. But it seemed like Newcastle, I still felt deserved to win that game. Sunderland created no chances. There was no goal.
There was the stat I liked. It was well into the second half. This guy put up the shots on target thing, and Newcastle had 5 times as many.
Yeah.
Despite only having 10 men for most of the match.
Yeah, Sunderland did have more off-target shots though, but that was still, yeah.
And Ba had to score their goal for them.
What was the Jimmy Savile chant, by the way? I googled it and couldn't find it. About Stephen Taylor. They also sang "We Wish You Were Dead."
I don't know what it was about Stephen Taylor. That's the first I've heard.
No, there was a chant. I remember hearing it during the match. I could hear Jimmy Savile, but I had no idea what they were chanting about.
I know Leeds fans were chanting "He does what he wants."
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, no. There was tons of tabloid articles about Stephen Taylor, and it referenced to "We Wish You Were Dead," and then later on the paragraph was kind of saying they also sang a song about Jimmy Savile in relation to Stephen Taylor. But no, I Googled it and couldn't find it.
Mm.
But it seems every game there's disgraceful chanting going on.
There's a lot of that.
I don't know whether I reckon it's just when it's in the media. Like there's always been horrible chanting, but it seems like it started when everybody asked the United and Liverpool fans not to do it,
and then they did it,
and then everyone's doing like the Leeds Sheffield Wednesday game. The Sheffield Wednesday fans were singing about the Leeds fans that died in Istanbul, and then the Leeds fans were singing about Dave Jones, something to do with a sex case. I didn't know.
He had a Jimmy Savile style case.
Really? Well, he was cleared. He was cleared of it though.
I think he was. Yeah.
That was 12 years ago apparently, but he was going ballistic then in the interview afterwards that there were a bunch of animals. He called the Leeds fans. Of course, the Leeds fans. One of them punched Kirkland in the face, and then was roundly applauded when he went back into the.
Mm-hmm. And he was banned from that match. He's banned from all matches, all home matches, all away matches. He's banned from travelling on trains to where Leeds are playing.
Yeah.
He's banned from pretty much everything. He managed to get there and get in. Yeah. Hit him in the face.
And he got 4 months, and I heard that 4 months and an £85 fine, by the way.
£85?
£85, like, take that. Do you know what I mean? And there was a guy who interrupted a boat race in London.
Yep.
And he got 6 months. Mm-hmm. So, interrupt your boat race.
That's a boat race. I mean, play was stopped anyway.
You decked a goalkeeper in the face.
I suppose.
Neil Warnock, he went down like a ton of bricks. Yeah, he was decked in the face.
I hate Neil Warnock.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's not a very good manager to be that mouthy. Anyway, well, I think we've thoroughly dissected the Magpies versus the Black Cats there, and we'll be coming back at you after this short musical interlude. Boom. Hello and welcome back to Backpage Pass, you squares. Remember we were doing shapes earlier?
Yeah, and tangents.
Yep, we went off on a tangent. We're neither of us entirely sure what a tangent is, but we know it's related to
you circles. Told me not to use that one.
Well, it was a sine, or maybe a cosine. What's the other one?
There's sim and tan.
Yeah.
Isn't it sim? And tan and cos.
Because
Cause calculators, that's why.
that's why we have calculators.
Yeah.
We've looked back and now it's time to crack on with next week's fixtures, beginning with the early kickoff on Saturday, which is Aston Villa Norwich, and it's Lambert facing his own club.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bad feeling actually between the two of them.
He seems to be blaming them.
And they seem to be blaming him for terminating his contract, even though at the time that went fairly smoothly between the two of them. So
it looked a lot like Villa are interested, so he's gone. But he's really angry at the board for something.
I think it's more to do with how dare you accuse me, blah blah blah. Like we had a good thing going, should have left it that way. There's probably
there is a court case going.
Yeah, there is. The Norwich are suing him for breach of contract, even though how could he possibly breach the contract he released them from? I'd say there's an awful lot of nastiness behind the scenes that we're never going to fully know.
I wouldn't want to make Paul Lambert angry.
But that game actually has draw written all over it. Like I can't see Villa winning anything at the moment, and Norwich are off the back of a decent result. But does either team have enough to beat the other?
It'll basically be who's better, Holt or Bent. Probably Holt.
Yeah.
I'm
going to go 1-1.
1-1.
How about you, John?
I'm going to go 1-1 too. Bent and Holt both getting a goal.
There's definitely going to be a no-goal in that match.
What?
There's definitely going to be an OG in that match.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
Who are you pinning it on?
I've got a feeling Villa are going to score from an OG and they're going to go, that'll be 1-1. Both goals in the second half.
That will definitely go to the bookies now. Put your money on it.
Put your house on it.
A London derby. There's a lot of these. They don't seem to matter. Arsenal against QPR. Arsenal need a result and a performance, not just a result. They want to perform well in this one, don't they?
So do QPR.
QPR.
QPR need something really badly. But Arsenal, I fair enough, they got performed poorly in their last two games and didn't really create anything against Schalke. I do see them winning that match because QPR are hopeless at the back and Arsenal have a tendency to pick defences apart that are hopeless. So both teams will score, but Arsenal will win that match.
I can see Podolski. If Podolski has a good game, Arsenal will kind of run the show. It's about the wide players, I think, there.
You can get at Arsenal, though, so Granero, I think, will create something for Zamora or something like that. Yeah.
Expert analysis there.
So QPR will be bottom of the table come the end of the weekend anyway.
Wigan versus West Ham. Wigan's defence is pretty lightweight against the presence of Carroll. How do you think this is going to go?
The monstrous beast. Andy Carroll, it'll be number 4-1 to West Ham. No, it won't. It'll be closer, but West Ham will take that. It's a hard one to pick though because they're both in and around. They'll be in and around each other at the end of the season. But 4-1 is a massive confidence boosting win for West Ham.
West Ham have had a few of them, goalers, especially since Carroll arrived.
Yeah. Do you like Andy Carroll?
I'm a bit of a fan of.
Yeah.
I felt really bad when he got his hair pulled last week. I was like, hey.
Yeah. Leave him alone. Yeah. Did you see his Bebo page?
No, everybody's been talking about his Bebo page.
You might like him a little bit less when you see that. The sad bastard.
He was a teenager. Leave him a break.
Leave him a break?
Leave him a break.
That's what I said.
I said it. I stand by it.
West Ham to win. Let's make predictions. 3-2 West Ham.
4-1 West Ham.
Yeah.
Carroll to be an influence without really scoring or setting up any goals.
Harold to score a similar goal to the one he got for Liverpool versus Man City last season, where he belted a low ball in from outside the box. Remember that goal?
He doesn't get those chances as much at West Ham.
He just belted in.
He tends to be in the box. It doesn't fall back to him. Whereas he's behind. Suarez would have gone ahead of him, but nobody's running ahead of him at West Ham.
Belted in. No, I think he's going to score.
If you say so.
I do think that. I'm just, even though it's the worst thing you could do, I'm just going to go with good instincts.
He's the kind of player. It'd be great to have in a real team, but in your fantasy team, you just get no points from.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about fantasy is that if you pick a logical team, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
You got to go with people.
I had Tiote maybe I still have Tiote in my team.
Yeah.
I hope I took him out before he got that red card.
Do you not follow it much anymore?
No, that's I kind of stopped after a week or two.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I knew you would because I knew you'd give up on it, but I made some good transfers this week.
I should probably try and fix it. I can't fix it.
You can. There's still time. I'm not that far ahead of you. There is time. We're 8 games into the season. There's 32 to go.
But I have to be better than you pretty much all of those 32.
No. You have to be better than me 5 of those 32 and fairly close to me the rest of them.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. This is my second time doing it.
I do it every year. And about this time, I'd start to go, nah.
Yeah, but you don't seem to get it. Like, you can't pick Jack Wilshere. He's not fit.
I picked Jack Wilshere last year. And I left him in my team for about 4 months. They kept saying he was coming back. He didn't come back. Oh, I hate Arsenal's physios. Speaking of Arsenal's physios, this has nothing to do with Arsenal's physios. Reading versus Fulham. Rebiak is the main story here. I wonder, like, what Fulham's players and fans are going to be like with Rebiak. It was a bit of a dirty move, wasn't it?
Was it?
Well, you know, he was there on loan, and he was also...
Yeah, but he was there on loan. That's it. Like, I mean, they didn't show enough ambition to get him.
But
they clearly didn't.
At the same time, he just...
The Russian lad
went over
Reading.
and went, yeah, here, come to my team.
Yeah, they got Berbatov. I'm sure they're pretty happy with him. Plus, he did pretty well at Fulham. It's not like he's gone to Chelsea. Yeah. You know, so... No, I don't... Like, that's hardly going to be throw flares in the pitch at that one. Like,
oh, no, I'm not talking about...
Kill him, like, lynch him.
Well,
no, but I don't fancy him to score. He just hasn't looked the same player. I don't know. That'll be an all.
Well, he scored a few goals, considering the rest of
Has
the
he
team
got?
is
How many
very
goals
good.
has he got?
I don't know, 4 or 5.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't. When was the last time he scored?
2 weeks ago. Scored against Chelsea. Maybe he only has 3. But he has more than 2.
As if I'm going to know the answer to that. Like, I don't know. He just hasn't impressed me in the same way he did with Fulham. So maybe they were lucky to get out of that one.
Suppose. He did just kind of have one great game for Fulham and then a few good ones.
Yeah.
Next game.
Yellow. What do you think?
Yeah. Don't even care. Maybe Fulham 1-0. Yeah, Fulham will win by 1. Stoke versus Sunderland, and I'm not even sure the managers are going to bother watching this
one. No. But Sunderland, at the same, they have what? 1 win.
1 win all season.
1 win and 6 draws? Or no, 1 win.
They've only lost 1. They've won 1. I think they drew the rest.
Yeah, so that would be 5. Or 6 draws. So 7 draws.
7 draws.
They don't have enough going forward, I think. Fair enough, Fletcher, but like
they just didn't bother giving the ball to Adam Johnson at all.
No, in fairness, Newcastle double up on him, and he had no idea what to do. And McLean had a poor enough game. Actually, did you see the article of McLean's mate getting?
They signed his mate.
Yeah, to basically do nothing except keep him company.
He obviously does suffer from homesickness. He was over in England before.
Yeah,
but it didn't take.
Yeah, he flies home pretty much after every match, I think. But they obviously believe in him as a future prospect if they're going to employ basically. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's going to be on that much money though. Is he?
No, he's not. He's going to be working around the club. Like he won't be. He's a goalkeeper as well. I'm surprised they didn't just bring him in as like, here, let the lads take shots on you while the goalkeepers are working on crosses or something. Like, you know, that kind of way. Mm. But I think he's just going to be like, you know, working in the club, cleaning and stuff. Not there's anything wrong with cleaning.
Some towels.
But why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they really must rate him to do something like that.
Kids today.
But like, plenty of players go home pretty much every weekend. That's the first time I ever heard of that.
I don't know. It's not the best. The players who do go home every weekend tend to burn out very quickly.
But even within England, like, players from Manchester down to London all the time. And London.
Yeah, and Andy Carroll used to pop back from Liverpool to Newcastle.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, so you wonder why they don't. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
It is, yeah.
Go on the
our Facebook page to find the link to the whole story. We
couldn't tell you that fast.
Man City versus Swansea. This is Swansea's first big test, really. Everton are the biggest club they've played. And they play a bit like Ajax.
Swansea do?
Yeah.
I wonder is Scott Sinclair thinking, damn, I should have stayed.
I don't think he is. I think he knew this was going to happen. He had to have a fair idea. It was going to take him a while to break into the team.
But they basically replaced Adam Johnson with him. And Adam Johnson had no impact on the team, really. So I don't know if Mancini is really expecting him to have any impact on the team. But City are going to win that. They could well fall behind. They lost at the the Liberties? Is that where Swansea play?
Yep.
Lost there last season, and it seemed that was going to be the turning point for United to win the league, and as it turned out, United blew it. But so I can see City falling behind, but they'll come storming back. That's what they seem to be doing these weeks.
Mancini really wants a response though after the loss during the week, where the team just got outplayed by a second tier European club.
Swansea will be hoping that City goes 3 at the back, because that seems to be a good omen when they do that during the. Even though City were losing already when they did that, but City got outplayed. But I don't know if that was application from players more than anything else, because Ajax don't have the squad that City do. Like they have decent players, like Eriksen played quite well, but I think it was application. I don't know if Yaya Toure actually is going to be fit, because he got a nasty cut on his foot. And Silva seems to have gone out of form, but they do seem to find a way to win games, and I expect them to win this one as well. Mancini
has a history of falling out with players. I have a list, not a comprehensive list, just the highlights of his fights over since he was a player up until his last falling out with Balotelli. So I think I'll lash that up on a blog, and we'll put that on the Facebook page as well.
Did he fall out with Jay Given, or was that just kind of a? I hear you're not in goals anymore. Take that.
There was something.
He's fallen out with Joe Hart anyway over there.
Yeah, Joe Hart and somebody else went up to Edinburgh for a drinking session. And there were certainly repercussions from that. They were caught on video acting the MAGA.
Yeah.
But yeah, Given was dropped because Hart was better.
4-2 to City.
4-2. I'm going to call it Swansea 3-1.
Swansea 3-1.
Yep.
I hope you're right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with these predictions, nobody's going to remember this time next week, so I don't really care.
I thought about this earlier, and I know we say this every week, but we should listen back and then criticize or celebrate. But
that'll be your job.
I do the football predictor on TalkSports website, and all the predictions I'm giving you are the exact opposite of what I predicted on that. I can't remember. You know what I mean? It was how I was feeling during those 5 minutes. Yeah.
But you've analysed it here. You've really had a look at it.
Yeah, I've really delved into where...
I've been asking questions and maybe turning things over in your mind.
Yeah, whereas in the office I was kind of like, 3-1 could happen. I can see that. Whereas I'm actually thinking about it here.
The Sunday, the Merseyside derby, Everton at home to Liverpool. Everton have been a better team than Liverpool for a good while now, at least 8 9 months, maybe a year.
If only they had a little bit of a deeper squad, they'd actually have the conviction to go ahead and race out of Liverpool. But I still can see that it's not going to be more than 5 points between the two of those, and I don't know who will be 5 points on top of the other. Everton should be trying to take the initiative and getting ahead, but I still fancy Liverpool to win that game, because Everton don't have a good record at actually winning these games, these derbies, these friendly derbies as they're known.
Well, this is the type of game where Gerrard really turns up.
Yeah,
he's had a quiet season, but against United and against Norwich, which have been Liverpool's 2 best games, he really played in those.
He's going to score from outside the box.
You reckon he had one of those smashers?
Yeah. Even though Everton don't tend to win these games, I'm going to go with 2-2 in that one.
I think if Fellaini's back, they've every chance of...
Liverpool aren't that bad at the back, so they can cope with Everton's attacking threats. There'll also be a sending off in these games. There's always a sending off in this fixture. Rodwell last season got sent off.
Well, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, but he got sent off.
I suppose.
I can't remember any of sending off, but I remember at that time they were saying that there's always a sending off.
I think Osman got sent off with one. He's Mr. Nice Guy.
It's Osman. What did he do to anybody? Is Pienaar going to be back for that match? He missed the last fixture.
No, he got sent off in the last game.
So he's going to... Oh, yeah, he's going to miss... Yeah. That's a blow. But I think it'll still be 2-1.
You can just move Coleman forward and Morales over.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
It's not a huge impact. He is a very good player, very important.
That's in Goodison, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the more reason to think draw.
Everton 2-1. There, I said it. Newcastle, West Brom.
Newcastle.
Yeah, I think Ben Arfa is probably the most important player here.
There was one thing during the Newcastle Sunderland match that he picked the ball up. Newcastle down to 10 men. He picked the ball up on the edge of his own box and kind of dribbled, relieved the pressure, and it was brilliant. and you were kind of waiting for him to do something stupid at the end of it, and he gave a bad. Well, it wasn't a bad pass, but the
Went out for a throw.
Yeah, but it was
It's like McGeady.
It was kind of like, you genius. You could have booted that, and then it would have come straight back down on top of you. But he allowed the Newcastle team to push out. It was genius, but he's a good player. I wonder how long they are going to be able to keep him. There doesn't seem to be that many sharks circling around Newcastle for him.
He's a bit of a troublemaker. So, I mean,
yeah. At Newcastle, what's he got? I haven't heard any stories.
Well, not at Newcastle, but he was on strike. The only reason he signed for Newcastle, he went on strike at his previous club.
Marseille, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he the club before that, I think he was at Lyon before that, and he had an altercation with the manager there, so that's why he went to Marseille in the first place. There's a video of him having a fight with the Abbey when they were about 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's loads. It's just his whole career until he got to Newcastle. He's really been very well behaved since he's been at Newcastle.
Pardew must be like walking on eggshells around him.
There was a bit during the Sunderland match where he walked over to the fans and just started shouting at the Sunderland fans for a corner. Like he was going over. I thought they were going to take a short corner, and he wasn't. He was just going over to give out to the Sunderland fans.
Yeah.
I think it was when they were throwing the balls that looked like golf balls.
Yeah, they probably love that.
Jay Long or Lukaku for West Brom? Who would you go with?
Long just scored last week. Lukaku couldn't score to save his life last week, so you got to put the form on.
What happened to Lukaku?
He was like 19.
Yeah, but he was a record goal scorer when he was at Anderlecht.
Yeah, but he was at Anderlecht. You know what I mean?
But you expect him to be able to score a goal in the Premier League.
Yeah, but like once you miss one, then you think, I have to score the next one, and then when you miss that, just snowballs on you. But one, as the famous saying goes, like one will go in and off his arse, and then you'll get a few. Like you're not going to win. But I keep Long in the team because he got a good goal last week. He was alive to it. It was a very Jermaine Defoe type of goal.
Yeah, just kind of running across.
Yeah, and you just finished, and you put it the opposite direction that was going. Like so, yeah. No, I'd have Long. I'd be very slow to kick Long out of the
team. So we reckon what Newcastle edge a win?
Yeah, that's a
James's Park.
Yeah, so
it's James's Park again.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the memo.
Yeah, well,
I just heard a commentator saying it's James's Park.
It was always James's Park, though. That's the argument. But how do you feel about Wonga being?
I keep meaning to read up on this. They don't sound like very nice people, and I'd rather they weren't putting money into the club.
They did sponsor Blackpool, and no one gave a toss about that.
Yeah,
but there was. You see that story that what league is it? Italy? No. What league is it? Cyprus or Greece. That there's a team in their equivalent of like League 2 that's being sponsored by the local brothel.
Yeah.
So, is that the way football sponsorship is going?
I wanted to go that way.
I think.
Imagine the player benefits.
You'd have a lot of other type of injuries.
Sounds like John Terry's dream.
But like, football sponsorship isn't going that way. But if it does, you'll have fans crying for Wonga to come back.
I don't think it's gonna. I'd rather a brothel than Wonga.
Yeah, imagine paying or getting money from Wonga to pay for your trip to the brothel. It's a sad existence.
Well, it's Newcastle and everything goes up there. Southampton versus Tottenham. It's unlikely that Bale's going to be at the birth of another child this week, so Southampton really need to be worried, don't they?
That would be incredible.
Raheem Sterling kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, he is a quick, pacey guy, so maybe his stuff works quickly too. I don't know. It's probably not possible. No, Southampton won't be looking forward to Bale coming back, and Tottenham are going to do their best to turn the result around, try and get 3 points to keep pace with everybody else. I'd have something about Southampton. They just don't fill you with confidence that they're actually going to get a result. It seems like every point that they get on the board is a surprise point.
You you look at them and kind of go, they're a good team, good players, and then every time you put them against another team, you kind of go, but they're just not good enough.
Yeah. But Bale going back to Southampton as well, you'll want to score there. So, yeah, Spurs are going to win that one. 2-0.
The big one on Sunday, Chelsea versus Man United. I think Chelsea could get a big win.
Yeah, certainly if United go behind, they're not going to United haven't won there apart from the Champions League. United haven't won there in the league in about 12 years now. United have some difficult fixtures coming up. The next three are Chelsea, Arsenal. The middle Chelsea being the Carling Cup match. United fall behind in that game, Chelsea are going to take the 3 points there. I'm not optimistic going there. I think draw is the best we can hope for, because really just the defence. Like I can see us scoring there, all right, but I'm hoping because if United fall 7 points behind, because Chelsea are 4 points ahead now, fall 7 points behind, you could be looking at the end of the title race pretty quickly, especially if you don't get anything from the Arsenal game as well. So United need to hold them through a draw at least.
United, I think, are going to struggle because usually Carrigan's goals in the middle. Can they defend against Oscar?
No, they'll get it. It's been the more and more they're used, they get overrun. So I play cleverly. Maybe Kilkea was probably not going to be fit after his twisting his knee, but I definitely play cleverly in there. Maybe even Anderson, just a bit more legs.
And how many forwards can Fergie afford? Because he's been trying to play 3.
Yeah.
You can't afford 3 away to Chelsea, can you?
No, I play I give the whole. He hasn't given the Rooney Van Persie 2 up top a go yet. I wouldn't mind giving that a go and just maybe a 4-4-2, and you can kind of have your wingers.
Rooney can always drop back into midfield.
Yeah. So that's the way I go. But Ferguson was talking in his press conference about the key of the element of surprise. So I'm sure he'll concoct something mad. But last season it was 3-3. I came from 3 down, so you never know what's possible. I'd like to see if we did play 3 up top, Chicharito to get a game, because he's put a lot of work in it at the gym. Like you can see, he's a lot stronger than he used to be. 2 good goals as well. So I always feel when he's on the pitch, the potential for a goal is definitely there.
And I still don't think I'd start him. It's a big game, I suppose.
He scored against Chelsea before. So, I don't know. I think I'd start with Van Persie and Rooney, but if we were playing 3, I'd go with him ahead of Welbeck.
I suppose if Terry was playing, you could. If Terry isn't banned,
Terry's. This is game 2 of a 4-game suspension.
Oh, then no, I wouldn't start Chicharito. I think the other 2 are too quick. Against a slower defender, Chicharito is always very handy, especially if you're playing. Did
score at the Bridge last season though?
Terry playing?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the point. He'd be good against Terry.
No.
Whereas Suarez and Cahill are quicker and read the game a bit better, I think. They're less dependent on last-ditch tackles.
All right. Well, I'm just saying Rooney Van Persie is how I would start, but if we were playing 3, I'd play Chicharito. No offense.
You can't have your cake and eat it too, Mark.
But I like cake. But I'm going to go 1-1. I usually would always believe United have a chance to win, and of course they do, but I'm going to try and be realistic and think 1-1, and United are going to have to score first.
I'm going to say 4-3. 4-1 Chelsea. Hear you?
Really?
Yep. I think
Chelsea have a history.
An early goal, they could really.
Chelsea have a history of battering us in big games, like when Mourinho's there. They beat us 3-0 a couple of times. They even went to Old Trafford and think they beat us 3-0. I think Thiago, do you remember him, the central midfield player? He's got a cracker in that game.
Portuguese lad.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it. That match will no doubt have an effect on the shape of the table. And with that, we've now come full circle.
Yeah, shapes.
I've been John O'Donnell, Mark Corcoran, and we'll be back.
I'm still. You may have been John O'Donnell, but I'm still Mark Corcoran.
Okay, well, I'll be somebody else for next while.
Okay.
Who can I be? I want to be John Elroy. We'll be back with somebody else next week to make up little triangles. And if you want to, you can like us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube, so you can.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should have on our Facebook, the 5 of us.
Yeah.
A poll. And the 3 top people who the listeners vote for go on the podcast. And then we cause divisions.
We can't get the 3 people at the moment.
Yes, but we'll organise it. And then we'll cause divisions between the 5 of us, similar to the divisions between the PFA and the non-white players.
And I mean,
it's podcast
you're kind of making me feel bad
football.
now, because I was about to say we should have, we're very not very ethnically diverse panel of people.
I'm black.
We can pretend no one is black.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does tan very well.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll start his own union?
No. I mean, he shouldn't. He definitely shouldn't start his own.
It'd be a retroactive move.
No.
Retrospective? No. It's neither of those
We're
things.
stronger together, goddammit. But I'm having second thoughts on the whole vote idea, because no one's going to vote for me.
No one's going to vote.
Yeah, well, 10 people.
I mean,
we're all going to get
we
2
would
votes.
each have a vote for ourselves.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Yeah. So the five of us. We
So
should
we
try
each
one.
have 20% of the vote,
Yeah.
which in a way would be the fairest.
The end.
We'll be back next week.
Part of the person.
Yeah, well, you know, you are evil.
Pure evil.
Yeah. I mean, it's the week. It's a good week to be evil.
How do you mean?
Halloween coming up.
Oh, yeah, I don't like Halloween. Are you dressing up this year?
I don't know, because I'm working all weekend, so I'm not have much of a chance. I might just have on some makeup.
Well, as you do on a
Any
Wednesday
Saturday
morning.
night, but this time it'll be scary makeup as opposed to intentionally scary makeup as opposed to a bit of slap.
If you ever invent a makeup shotgun, I will happily shoot you in the face.
Yeah, it's a whore. Always.
Yes. Always ready.
Where's my script? Okay.
What do you mean script? There's no script. You didn't hear that?
Yeah, this all comes off the top of my head.